Hey, this is Angel. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the narcissist, when you need to detach. Welcome to Narc Repellent. This channel is devoted to those seeking understanding, strategies, and support as they are recovering from a narcissistic relationship. If you're interested in gaining further perspective on this, you've come to the right place. I like to start with a topic-related quote to get us thinking about the topic of the day. This one's from Dr. Phil. Now, I know many of you may not respect Dr. Phil for whatever reasons, but this statement's good. We teach people how to treat us. I know this probably didn't originally come from Dr. Phil, as it is a common concept in boundary building and relationship philosophy. Many who are in the mental health field talk about the fact that we need to be teaching people how to treat us. It's a process that involves teaching them what is acceptable and unacceptable treatment toward us. It's knowing that what we need and want and being able to communicate it effectively to others. I took most of that description from psychcentral.com. When we find ourselves in a toxic relationship with someone like a narcissist, then we eventually become aware that our boundaries have been broken down to next to nothing in a very slow, methodical manner. Of course, there are many YouTube videos on the subject of narcissism. It lets me know how much people are suffering from the abuse inflicted by a person with strong narcissistic traits. When we've been in a toxic relationship with a narcissist, we find ourselves lost and confused about our reality. Our reality has been manipulated and controlled by the narcissist. I don't know about you and where you may be at in the toxic relationship you're trying to learn about, but for me, when I finally woke up to what was going on, I knew I had to do something. What to do and how to do it and the steps to take were a complete mystery to me. Then I realized the most important step would be to learn how and why to detach from the narcissist. If this sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. I'd now like to take a moment to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Please share this video with anybody you think it would be helpful for. Like and comment. Thank you to those who've been loyally watching my videos. I hope to gain more subscribers so I can help get the word out about this other pandemic we're suffering from. All right, back to our topic for this video, Narcissist and Detachment. First, I just want to share that being involved with people who have narcissistic traits, whether it be from a diagnosis of NPD or other cluster B personality, or if it's mild manipulation and controlling techniques, know that you will be abused. This was the hardest part for me to face. The man who I thought I was madly in love with had been emotionally and psychologically abusing me for at least 12 of the 14 months we were together. When I received that proverbial slap in the face, first from a therapist and then a number of close friends, I was devastated. After recovering from dropping to my knees, I knew there was much work to do, work on me. But first, I needed to get rid of the narc. I needed to get him out of my home and out of my life so that I could begin the healing. Learning the art of detachment saved my life. Disclaimer: the feelings, thoughts, opinions, and ideas expressed on this YouTube channel are my own. Of course, I had to do the research in order to figure out what the hell had happened to me. I am not a mental health professional, but I have studied psychology at the university level for a couple decades out of personal interest. I've been a parent to now 2 adult children and I've been in education for more than 20 years. This last relationship helped me learn to heal the wounds from my own childhood, which provoked my acceptance of a person like that in my life. Detaching from an abusive relationship is next to impossible. The abuser has groomed you, has put you through the tests that let them know that you are the type of person they can manipulate and control. All of the ways that a narcissist uses to manipulate and control their targets are well documented in my videos and many others. I encourage you to become very aware of these methods and strategies. Being aware of how someone has manipulated you is part of the healing. You gotta know what you're dealing with. I'll start with a couple simple explanations. First of all, the National Domestic Abuse Hotline describes this kind of abuse as a pattern of behaviors used by one partner to maintain power and control over another partner in an intimate relationship. The cycle of abuse in narcissistic or toxic relationships looks like this. First, there's the idealize phase, then the devaluing stage, then the discard stage, and then we repeat. This cycle will keep on going as long as you allow it. The cycle of being loved, respected, adored, cherished, to then be put down, devalued, and finally rejected becomes the addiction. I can't really discuss how the brain is reacting to all the chemical and neurological changes that occur during these stages, but suffice it to say that growing a dependence on what this person is giving you during the idealized stage keeps you addicted to them. We know that it's not really good to be addicted to anything, especially love. When addicted to drugs or alcohol, the answer seems easy. Join a 12-step group for support and then figure out how to detach from your addiction. Simply put, get the drugs, alcohol, and those friends out of your life. Now, I know that's not simple for a lot of you people, but I'm just giving the simple explanation for what we're dealing with today. Detaching, or simply letting go of the addiction to the narcissistic relationship, for me was grueling, painful, and torturous, but not as painful as what would have happened to me if I stayed in that relationship. You may also be experiencing similar stress as to what you're currently or in the past have gone through in relationships. This relationship will make it appear that you have lost a little bit of you every day. This is unacceptable. In fact, for many of us, the resulting effect of being in a relationship with a narcissistic or toxic person could result in post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, or chronic post-traumatic stress disorder, cptsd, also discussed in many other videos. So the steps that helped me work toward my goal of detaching and letting go of the narcissist looked something like this. First, start by acting indifferent to whatever the narc is doing. Whether you are currently living with this person or not, indifference means you no longer care about providing what this person needs to be whole again, that you are more concerned about making your own self whole again. Indifference is the opposite of love. Think about it. The narc will possibly get triggered by this action, but after you do number 2 below, you should be okay. Take your power back. What I mean by this is, remember whose life you're living. You need to decide that you will be making more logical and reasonable decisions for yourself. You need to live your life for you, not for the narcissist. Let go of the narcissist and their fantasy relationship. Third, you'll need to fight the addiction and withdrawal. You'll have to let go. For me, this was the hardest part. I didn't realize I'd grown addicted to him, to the love I thought we had, to the fantasy he put in my path. When I woke up and understood what he was and what he'd been doing to me, I could see how the addiction grew. That didn't make it any easier. However, knowing he was bad for me and that he hurt me allowed me to move through the withdrawal. I was on my bed for 2 weeks straight, you guys, in a fetal position, weeping and feeling so much pity for myself and what I'd gone through. Withdrawing from the love and abuse cycle the toxic person puts you through will be hard. You may cry and cry and cry. That's okay. You'll have to fight it one day at a time. The thought that helped me through this was knowing I would get back to myself once I was over him. I had a life to live that was much better than the one he was providing. Fourth, you need to pay closer attention to reality, to the truth. I became so confused about what was up and what was down by the time he was done with me. I was so confused about what was real and what was his fantasy that I bought into his fantasy for a long time. No more. You know the truth. You've known it all along, but you chose to ignore those red flags. Get back with those friends who can remind you of what reality really is. Your reality and the reality of the narcissist are very different, but you will find they have sucked you into theirs. 5, know that this relationship is no good for you. That's the bottom line, people. When you realize someone has been mistreating, disrespecting, abusing you in any way, you cannot stay. Detach. Let them go. Besides doing all of that, we need to remember and believe the following things about ourselves so we can detach successfully in order to move on and recover from this abusive relationship. These are in no particular order. You will need comfort. You're hurting. You will need support for what you're going through. You are loved. Love yourself. You know the truth. Know your own truth. You need to know what you need. You need to know your value. Value yourself. Know what you are thinking to monitor for negative thoughts. Know that you have friends who love and care for you. Know that you are strong. You deserve love, care, honor, and respect. Give this to yourself first. Well, how does detaching from an abusive partner help your present and future? With any luck, you'll learn how to set better boundaries, so no one will do this to you again. Boundaries that will protect your psyche and your reality like a freaking fortress would protect your home. Detaching has to be final. There was no relationship, and there never will be one with a narcissist. Stay alert to your own needs, your own reality, your own truth, your own health. Hopefully, you've also learned to say stop and no, as you'll have needed them to say often in a toxic relationship. When you love, care, honor, and respect yourself, no one can manipulate you into believing their reality and taking their abuse. Otherwise, you will need to detach and simply let it go. That's all I have to say on the subject of detachment today. But if you've been through anything like this, or you are currently going through something like this, know that there are many ways to get support. Whether you have left the narc in your life or you're still with them, know that you are not alone in this struggle. Please don't stay isolated at this time. Look for good help and support. It's going to take time to heal. Give yourself lots of time. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I wish you a peaceful and graceful day.